Hello everyone, welcome to 6025 Shadows Workshop. Today we are going to talk about a case study about gender stereotypes and its connection with math performance. In stereotypes, people usually think that men will achieve better results in mathematics, science, and other fields, while women are usually in disadvantaged groups. But research shows that many women still achieve excellent results in these disciplines. So today we invite the writer of this article, Anneke Mading, to listen her opinion. Hello, Miss Mading. I'm the host of this interview. After reading your article, I found there are many areas for us to investigate. So could you please give a simple introduction of this literature review about your research and what kind of problems have been investigated in your research?
Hello everyone. The literature has done a lot of investigation and gathered most volunteers to participate in the experiment. There are realistic assumptions, sufficient data research, and clear and visible table expressions, which indicate that the problem of stereotypes' influence on observation objects needs to be solved.
So, how about the theoretical framework? Is there any important concepts and relationships in them?
Yes, according to the theory stated by Greenwald, social knowledge is seen as a network of variable strengths and associations among person concepts and attributes. The association functions as a link between two unlinked concepts such as women and STEM. STEM stereotype may destroy girls' cognitive ability in science subjects and their mathematical achievements. For men, they are unlikely to form a strong anti-stereotype association, resulting in their implicit gender. STEM stereotypes are good. Research shows that STEM women's implicit gender mathematical stereotypes are equivalent to men's. For American female college students, the stronger their implicit gender math stereotype, the weaker their preference, the lower their recognition, and the lower their performance. For male students, the opposite is true. Implicit gender stereotype has nothing to do with female engineering students' mathematics, but it is negative.
Wow, excellent! What kind of study approach have you used in this research?
Well, we investigate female and male engineering and male recessive sex in southern France. Our research belongs to experimental research. The main methods used in the literature are investigation and experiment. They are purposeful, planned, systematic collection of relevant research objects, actual and historical conditions, and comprehensive use of historical methods and observation.
So there must have a lot of work on the data collection procedures. So can you show us?
Yes, according to the research and investigation, I collected the first-hand data through comparative analysis, filled the data into the forms using a unified format, finally carry out integrity check and data analysis, and then back up the database and enter it into files to facilitate the investigation and study.
And what's your research questions? I see that there are two main studies in your research.
Yeah, there are three hypotheses. It is assumed that compared with female humanities, male science, and male liberal arts, female science has a weaker implicit gender stereotype. The French women's science called women's arts, men's arts have weaker implicit gender reasoning stereotypes than men's science. Implicit gender reasoning stereotype is more related to female humanities students' math scores, and implicit gender stereotypes are the weakest for boys.
Your research is an experimental one, so can you explain the specific variables in it?
It is mentioned in the literature that family education may affect the samples. In addition, social discrimination is also a cause, and old ideas have influenced it. Personally, the social factors, family factors, and national politics may also affect the samples.
Oh, I see that there are some academic works like the implicit stereotypes. Can you give us the definitions of them?
Yeah, there are mainly four definitions. One is stereotype, which is the association of a group concept with a given attribute concept. The other is mathematical or art stereotypes, the influence factors of different subject types on male and female proficiency types. Men who are good at liberal arts are the opposite. The implicit association test, we call it IAT, is a measure within social psychology designed to detect the strength of a person's automatic association between mental representations of objects in memory. An implicit bias or implicit stereotype is the unconscious attribution of particular qualities to a member of a certain social group. Measurement of this effect has been termed as pseudosis by some peers.
So there one question, how can you show the explained reliability and validity in your article?
The literature has carried out rigorous, orderly, and scientific investigation methods. The data are reliable and the records are very detailed. Detailed explanations have been given to each data unit, which is convenient for research and reflects the reliability and effectiveness. This research carried out some famous theories, for example, Green Unified Theory and the free works.
So how can you get these samples?
Well, for the study one, participants were 27 aerospace engineering students, including 14 male and 13 female attending a selective French engineering school, and 28 humanities undergraduates who are 14 male and 14 female from a less selective French university. And for the study 2, participants were 170 aerospace and mechanical engineering students who are 43 female and 64 male attending a selective French engineering school, and 84 humanities undergraduates consist of 43 female and 41 male from a less selective French university.
So is there any ethical considerations when you do this research?
All participants volunteered to take part in a study on reaction times and judgments. They were not remunerated for their participation. In the traditional science, women are good at literature and history subjects, while men are good at science and technology subjects. To investigate and study women who are good at science and engineering. Yes.
So, okay, I see. So how about the data analysis and the results?
Through the data analysis, these scores were created for each IAT. These scores represent the difference in mean response latency between the gender stereotype in congruent and congruent tasks indicated by the participants' latency standard deviation on the two tasks. The advantage of these scores compared to other scoring methods is that they reduce the contamination of the IAT measure by overall differences in response speed. This is important because our studies were conducted on two different samples. After data analysis, results of study showed, as expected, it is concluded that French male engineering students have weaker implicit gender mathematical stereotypes than female humanities. Women have weaker implicit stereotypes than humanistic women and engineering. And engineering has weaker implicit stereotypes than humanistic men, while French female science students have weaker implicit gender mathematical stereotypes than liberal arts, male science, and male liberal arts.
So here are some recommendations from your readers. They said that references can be made to historical data and a large range of samples for experiments to accept more specific researchers to stimulate the interest of the next generation of scientific researchers, to pay attention to the publication of popular science articles, to make people pay attention to this problem, to make this problem solved well. So patient practice of this study you want to try in the future?
Okay, for women, more emphasis is placed on the cultivation of engineering subjects. On the contrary, more emphasis is placed on the cultivation of math humanities subjects. Even more unexpected variables and quantities have a long-term vision. Test forms should be scientific, and research objects should be diversified. Yeah.
And what you have mentioned in the conclusion, there are some limitations of this study. So would you please to say it in detail?
Yeah. Socialization dynamics assesses and information about students' socio-economic background considered were not available, and possible influence of variables such as general cognitive ability, achievement goals, or self-esteem were also neglected. STEM stereotype does not include performance indicators, so it is impossible to test the implicit stereotype. Performance relationship sample size is too small. Implicit stereotype is more important than mathematics, and the single degree of precision in quantitative research is not high.
In conclusion, the selection of the topic is practical, which is focused on the realistic problem. Where the authors collected the data, the interference factors were excluded as much as possible. The female college students chose the girls who were completely science and engineering and the girls who were completely biased in the liberal arts to compare them. And the interference caused by the subject factors was excluded as much as possible. So thanks for listening and thanks for smiling.